Hi there, I'm Alexis and I'm your host for Cocktails and Conversations with one cocktail at a time. And tonight I'm going to be making what is called the Allegheny. And this is from my favorite cocktail book, The Architecture of the Cocktail. And it has these beautiful illustrations and tells you all. This was how I learned to make cocktails, and it's still my go-to because I feel that the recipes in this particular cocktail book are perfect as far as balance and tradition is concerned. And so it really does teach you how to make traditional cocktails with the right proportions and simple instructions, and even a little history about each cocktail. In any case, the Allegheny is a bourbon-based cocktail. So I'm going to be using my mixing pitcher. I actually think it says to shake it, but when you're using the juice, you want to stir. So we're going to start with putting our bourbon base in, which I altered the recipe to be a little more bourbon heavy because I've made this a few times. So I'm doing 1.5 ounces per drink of bourbon, so that'll be 3 ounces because I'm making 2 drinks. So go to my measure here, and I'm going to pour 3 ounces. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Here we go. 3 ounces in there. And then we're going to do a little blackberry brandy. I just have, Arrow blackberry brandy here. I'm sure you could find fancier ones, but this, has stood the test of time. I'm going to do 3/4 ounce per drink, which is 1.5 ounces for 2. All right. And then we're going to do some dry vermouth, and that calls for 1 ounce per drink, so we'll do 2 ounces. I always have to hold this up eye level a little bit just to make sure I get the right proportion, get it up to the level. Okay. And then we need a little lemon juice. So we need about 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. I'm going to do some fresh lemon. My squeezer's packed. As I've been saying in the last few weeks that my kitchen is under construction. So, we're just going to pop out a couple of these seeds and squeeze 1 ounce of lemon juice into here. Hopefully. So now we got 1 ounce of lemon juice. I'm going to put that in there. And then, as I like to do, I'm going to stir it, 30 times or so with my stirrer that I have here. Okay, so we're about there. And I'm going to bring out my coupe glasses. A couple of coupes here. Couple of coupes, and we'll strain into the coupe glasses. Make sure they're even, Steven. Nobody wants to be, slighted with the cocktail proportions, right? And it's just this pretty color too. The bourbon and the blackberry, it's almost like an amber. You feel like it's a jewel. It looks very jewel-like. This is again called the Allegheny. It's going to have a fruity brightness and bourbony yumminess to it at the same time. So I'm going to do my best here without my peeler to do a little lemon, express some lemon juices here in a second. So we've got that. I'm going to go zest. It wasn't that zesty. We'll go around a little bit here just to make it feel a little fancier. Try to curl it up, but I think I'm just going to have to slip it in there. Now first I'm going to smell it. I can smell a little bit of the Four Roses small batch, and it's slightly sweet, but not overly. It's just got some nice aromas, and I can actually smell that lemon zest I put on there. It's tart without initially on the tongue, but then it relaxes into a really mellow warmth that's hard to describe, hard to have words for, but I think it's because of that blackberry brandy, which is giving a little sweetness, and then with the dry vermouth, that's toning that down. The lemon, of course, is adding a little more of that sour, so it's kind of a whiskey sourish kind of a flavoring. It's very nice. I would highly recommend this. Cheers to never being the only one in the room. Have a good evening.